It has been a big morning. I've been down here recording for like only about half an hour now, but as you can see, I'm fucking sweaty. I've got my towel out again. It's 12:30, and hence why my t-shirt's off, because fucking it's just drenched by now. So today, what I want to bring you is let's talk about bench pressing, right? And what I really want you guys to get out of the mindset of is thinking about most important things for you at the moment. You might think like sets and reps are super important, you know, and if I'm going to be doing hypertrophy, I need these reps. If I'm going to be doing strength, I need these reps and these sets and yada, 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 yada. All that shit's already out there. But what a lot of people don't talk about is the first thing I want you to think about is, if I were to ask you, where does the power come from in the bench press? If you said it comes from the pec, then you got it right. A lot of people, myself included, would end up using things like, you know, bench with your legs. I think that's something that I heard like a while ago, like bench with your legs, you know, like fucking use that drive. That's all well and good, and it will aid to a big bench press, but not if you don't know how to take the force from the prime mover here, the pec, and take it up through and move the load. So think about it like that. So what do you need to do? You need to learn how to be able to create scapular retraction, depression, but more importantly, what goes above that is your ability to stabilize this joint so that as the force comes from the pec and out, there is no leaks in energy, right? It stays stable. So as instability creeps into this joint, you're not ultimately fucked, but it can be the difference between you hitting a new personal best, getting out a full set, avoiding shoulder injury. Like if I've had shoulder injuries before from bench pressing, they fucking suck. So if you want to learn how to stay away from them, learn what to do with your shoulder. I've got a video on my YouTube page. If you don't know how to, you know, get scapular retraction, depression, and then be able to maintain that, go to my YouTube page and have a look. But so the first thing that you need to think about outside of reps, sets, and all these fucking tactics is technically, or that's what wrong fucking phrase to use, but based on your technique, can you create scapular retraction, depression, stabilize this joint, and then maintain it like through this range of motion under load? Because what tends to happen is people come down here and they lose their tension, and their elbows flare out, and they end up like this, and then they try to reset themselves. That means this joint here is not stable. So I want you to think about it for a second and go, okay, cool, do I know how to do that? Record your videos. Can you get scapular retraction, depression, maintain it through load? If not, ultimately no amount of sets and reps will fucking give you that huge bench press you want. And if you're like me, who's taken fucking ages to get like a reasonable bench press of 150 kilos, the game changer was just really learning how to keep stable in this position up here and avoid shoulder pain. So that's step number one for you, to grow a bigger bench press. Step number two, this one's pretty fucking simple. I'm pretty sure I've heard it all the time, you probably know this. Bench more. But think about benching more, not necessarily frequency from how many times you bench a week. So like one bench session a week or two bench sessions a week. I always advise two. But how much benching you do in a session. Because the only way to get better at bench pressing, that's right, it's to bench more. Right? You have to think about benching more, right? Specificity. So think about your bench press. You might do 4 sets of 10, and then, or 4 sets of 6, 4 sets of 8, whatever it might be. And then you might go over to the dumbbell, the flat dumbbell over there, and do dumbbell press, incline dumbbell press, pec flies, maybe a little bit back, triceps to finish off with. What I would challenge you to start doing now is look at, do your normal bench press, and then add a bench press variation that's very close to that exercise right after it. Because it's a skill to be able to bench press. And when you go like that, you go, okay, so let's say you do 5 sets of 6 reps on the bench press. What do you do then? Well, some tactics here. This is very tactful. Here's a tactic for you. Is to do your 5 sets of bench press and then lower the weight and then do tempo bench pressing for 3 to 4 sets after that. So just in that session alone, you've done anywhere like from 8 to 9 sets of bench press, and then go do all your accessory work to build mass. Focus on the bench press more. And that's what I mean by bench more. I get my guys doing anywhere from 6 up to 8 sets, depending on where they're at in their program at the time, of just pure bench pressing and variations of the bench press. So normal bench press, tempo bench press, close grip bench press, tempo close grip bench press, feet up bench press, any of those sort of variations, wide grip bench press, like whatever it might be. Challenge where you suck at and then keep attacking that area. As long as you know how to do step one of what the fuck to do with your shoulders, and then you can start creating variations of what you suck at in the bench press, you're going to end up benching more in the long run, as long as you know how to progressively overload and you go through hypertrophy and out of the scope of this video. So that's step number 2, bench more, but not necessarily how much you do a week, but how much you do session to session. And as long as you can recover from it, keep fucking pushing it, right? That's the only reason you should never not push harder during training, is because you can't recover from session to session, or you're carrying an injury. If you find that you recover well, you get a little bit of DOMs, but on Saturday you're like, I'm pretty fucking sweet. Go bench more, challenge yourself, get another, let's say you do 5 and 4 or 5 sets and then 4 sets, probably 4 sets and then 3 sets, 7 sets on Wednesday, then on Saturday, do another 7 sets. If you can recover by the following Wednesday, you're golden, keep going, put another set in, put the weight up, whatever it might be. Fucking do what you need to do. And then the third thing is add some more mass. Right, so I've seen a lot of people who want to be able to bench more and get a stronger bench press, but in reality, they might just not be strong enough at that body weight. So get yourself into a surplus, start eating more calories, learn to, and I'm sure on top of that, if you start benching twice a week and you're doing like 14 sets plus bench pressing alone a week, like you're gonna add some real good size to your upper body very fucking quickly after like 5 to 8 weeks. And then from there, you'll start to ultimately see like, oh fuck, my bench press is going up. And I'm like, duh, you're bigger and you're doing fuckload more volume and you increase your frequency of bench press session to session. That's why you're getting stronger. So, and here's just, okay, so those are the 3 things. Know what to do with your shoulder. If you don't know what to do with your shoulder during the bench press so that you can produce more force from the pec, YouTube channel. Second thing is bench more often, session to session. Third thing, add more mass. Get yourself into a surplus. Start eating the calories. Don't worry about if you put on a little bit of fat, you can lose it later. But who the fuck likes a 6-pack anyway? And then as a bonus, aim to change up your pressing variations every 4 to 5 weeks. I see a lot of guys and girls just not knowing what to do, right? So they'll just stick with what they know. That's actually worse in my opinion. Changing it up every 4 to 5 weeks to avoid the law of accommodation, where the body will just, like get used to that movement pattern and you can't press any more weight. Change it up. You've got so many variations available to you, you don't even know about it. Like bench press, close grip bench press, wide grip bench press, tempo. Tempo. Now what about if you like change these 3 to tempo for a little bit? What about adding some more shoulder pressing? What about changing the barbell that you use? I've got like a Swiss bar here. You can change the barbell that you use. Like change it up every 4 to 5 weeks. And this is like a little bonus thing, just to not necessarily keep the body guessing, but change the stimulus at which you're placing on it. So I really hope this helped. I wanted to do something a little different than what fucking people put out there in terms of how many sets and reps you should do. I don't give a fuck about how many sets and reps you're doing as long as ultimately you're getting stronger and you're getting bigger. So go over to my YouTube channel if you need to learn how to like bench press properly. Not a lot of people know how to bench press properly. Not a lot of coaches know how to teach people how to bench press properly. Go over there and comment below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any questions? If you have a video, send it through to me. I'll do a little, give you a little type back, tell you what you can improve on. So I'm gonna go get upstairs now because it's fucking sweaty as you can see, and I'll speak to you a lot soon.